actually very good to have you. You're the first person I'm interviewing face-to-face during COVID. It's a fucking huge relief.
We're a good distance apart, so it's okay.
Yeah, we're social distancing, but I think Michael behind the camera is probably the most relieved because he doesn't have to edit out lag and shit.
Yeah, good.
Andrew, tell me about City Pop Records.
Yeah, I guess it's been an idea I've been sitting on for a couple of years now, but the last 12 months we've been going pretty strong with it. Our first signing, Mia Rodriguez, we're starting to get some cut through with her at the moment. She's number one most played on Triple J, which was a big achievement for us, especially the pop part of the name of the label was really geared towards making cool, credible pop that has a life outside of Australia primarily. We've really been thinking from the start with this to take it global. But the general thought process behind it was I was down at VidCon in Melbourne and there as a guest of YouTube and seeing all these creators that had lines of like 500 kids just out the auditorium trying to meet them and the disconnect between that and some of the indie conferences that were happening around Australia was staggering. I mean, fans, young fans in particular, were so into everything that these creators were doing. And a lot of them were attempting to cross over to a music career and this has happened around the world as well. So I thought that there was a gap in the market and something that we could make the most of in terms of pairing what we have done well over the last decade or so and this new generation of creators and artists coming through. So that was the genesis of it, at least. It's
really interesting you mentioned that. And was there that success you've had on Triple J is pretty impressive considering the fact that you look at an artist like Troye Sivan, who almost had a same, history as the artist that you're talking about signing. And the massive following that he accumulated on YouTube and on the internet almost worked at his detriment, and he simply didn't get any support from alternative radio, Triple J. It was seen as uncool. So how did you overcome that, and did you have that worry when you started signing these artists?
Yeah, definitely. But again, Triple J wasn't our end goal with this. And I think Troy obviously is doing well regardless of the radio support. And I think he was already on billboards when his first couple of songs came out. So I think from Triple J's point of view, they would have seen it and said, well, like this isn't really the home or the starting and the breeding ground for Troy. Whereas with Mia and the other acts, we've really wanted to embrace that and embrace like Aussie music culture as the starting point, because I think that is something that helps build really long careers and live touring and the rest as well.